John Zombro with the Lifetime Athlete, and thank you for joining me in this video. Today, this is a program update for our training tribe, our nationwide online group coaching and training entity that we have here at TLA. And in fact, it's really the ultimate fitness platform for the maturing human, and that includes serious fitness athletes and competitive recreational athletes especially. So what we're doing right now is we're changing blocks in the training tribe. So we're based on an annual training plan which balances the 5 capacities of athleticism or human performance, and those are strength, speed, power, agility, and endurance. We divide the year into 5 blocks of 2 to 3 months each, and we touch on all of those elements, but we emphasize one per block. Right now we're in the agility block. This is going to be December and January, as we always do, and we're also featuring or concentrating on the micro workouts. So those workouts this week are about 45 minutes each, and that's consistent with the seasonality model of training, which is one of the foundational principles that we use here at the Lifetime Athlete. If I jump right into what we've got for this week, we've actually only got 2 workouts, but the goal is to perform each of them 3 times if possible. So we have a workout A and a workout B, as we often do, and oftentimes many more. But for workout A, what we're going to be doing is taking the preparatory, the primary, and the accessory sections and using each to build on this initial foundation in agility that we've started. Now, before we can get to doing some hit circuits and footwork drills and acrobatics and tumbling, we need to work on some of the basics. So last week we concentrated on one way to quantify exercise programming, which is through those 7 big or major patterns, and we looked at pushing and pulling, squatting, hinging, lunging, rotating, and locomoting. Sometimes I like to throw carrying in there as well, but basically what we did was we explored some standard exercises and just double-checked how we execute movement with the body. Now this week we're taking those patterns and we're integrating those with the developmental sequence. So we're going to use some different body positions to perform some basic exercises in workout A. I'll tell you a little bit about that. We're going to start off with doing 2 circuits in each of the sections, and you're going to use the yeses 1x20 method. So you're going to do a circuit of several exercises, 20 repetitions each, and then repeat that before we go to the next section. The first thing we've got is working in quadruped. So quadruped is your hands and knees or all fours position, and we're going to do a cross-body kettlebell transfer. So that's going to be taking that bell from outside of one side and reaching under, through, and across and transferring it and repeating that sequence. We'll move from there to a rotating form of an elastic row, so using tubing or band and getting quite a bit of thoracic rotation and breathing coordination into that movement. And then we'll finish using a pull down from that position. So instead of being in a seated or standing position working overhead, you're going to be doing that from quadruped using 2 points of support, because we're going to also draw that opposite knee towards the opposite elbow as we're completing the motion. From there, you'll move into half kneeling, and half kneeling is simply having one knee down and then one knee is up, one foot is forward. First exercise we're going to perform there is an overhead press, stepping on the band or tubing with the front foot. And then we'll move into a perpendicular press where the resistance is actually perpendicular to the plane of motion. So that's going to be a forward anchor at about face level as you press up and down. Moving from that preparatory section into the primary, we're then going to utilize side lying. And I think sometimes side lying is underutilized in training programs, but not here, of course, at TLA. 2 circuits of 20. Again, we're going to start off with a horizontal abduction, which is basically a side arm lift. And that's probably going to be done with a relatively light dumbbell or other implement if you happen to have a wrench or a hammer or a can of food that you can use. Then we're going to go into an oblique prop position. So it's kind of sideline, but it's oblique sitting, propped on an elbow, and we're going to do an overhead press, possibly with a kettlebell or dumbbell, depending upon what you have. You'll finish up doing some alternating dynamic stretches between quadriceps and glutes, again, using this sideline position. From there, we go to tall kneeling. So that's kneeling on both knees with padding. And you're going to be doing a medicine ball front raise. So you're raising that medicine ball in an arc from legs to overhead and maintaining good stability and alignment and always breath control while doing so. And then you'll finish out with some dumbbell curls using any variation of the curl that you prefer. Finally, when we get to the accessory for workout A, we're also doing 2 circuits of 20, but now this is going to be a great challenge. It's going to be a floor to ceiling lift that is very unstructured, has very few rules. You can use any object, dumbbell, kettlebell, or other household implements, and you're going to balance on one leg, reach down and pick it up with the opposite hand, and then bring the weight all the way up to overhead and back for 20 repetitions. So it's going to challenge your balance. You'll feel it in your arch. It'll light up your glutes, all sorts of things. Have some fun with that one. And then finally, we move to an unstable base. Now, I just finished up doing a run through on this, just jumped out of the shower. In fact, it was fun. Nice for, let's say, an aging body. I felt that it was very beneficial for me to perform. But this last one, I used a Bosu ball because I had one available. If you don't have one, you can use balance discs or even a couch cushion, which is fine. You just want something that's a little bit unstable or uneven under the footing. Both feet are going to be down, and you're going to be taking that medicine ball and tracing a giant circle, as well as bringing the body up and down as the ball is moving. And we're going to try to do that one with eyes closed as well. So those are some of the things that you're going to be working on in workout A, and the tips that I have are relatively trying to keep a fairly neutral position with the pelvis and ribs, and then also float over your base of support wherever that may be or however you may be performing the movement. Workout B is a bit of a shake-up because it's kind of a cardio combo, but what we're going to be doing is, first of all, going free choice. In other words, you can use any mode or any machine or type of aerobic exercise that you prefer, and we're going to emphasize 3 or all 3 of the energy systems as we go through. So the first segment is going to be about 5 minutes, easy to get going. We're just using the term easy to be generic here. Then we're going to go 10 times, 10 repetitions of 10 seconds all out, 50 seconds easy. So this really is nice to do on an air bike or a rower if you have that available. But again, you can do this using any mode. You can do it power hiking. You can do it with calisthenic circuits. Doesn't really matter. Up to you. Then when we go to our anaerobic featured section, we're going to be sampling Zone 4, we're going to be touching on developing the VO2 max a bit with this. It's not quite the same as a dedicated workout with that objective, but you're going to do 5 times 2 minutes, 1 minute. So that's 2 minutes on at a strong effort. We're going to call that the Z4 effort, and then 1 minute easy, which is going to be generally a partial recovery in this. This will take you all the way over to our accessory or finale with this exercise session, and it's 15 minutes again, so each of those segments are 15 minutes, but this is steady aerobic, being in zone 2 or maybe even down in zone 1. And why? Because you're going to use nasal inhalation throughout that time, so that's going to help you to stay in that zone and actually work on breathing mechanics a bit as well. So explore your gears with that workout. Now, if you're interested in these types of things, you enjoyed this video, thanks for being with me first of all, but you can also learn lots more about what we do at the Lifetime Athlete and in the Training Tribe. Just go to thelifetimeathlete.com and click on the Training Tribe menu item. Tons of good information there, and if we're for you, we'll see you in one of our masterclass meetings, which we have weekly. Till next time, this is Coach JZ signing out from the Lifetime Athlete and the Training Tribe.